Hey everybody, Teresa here from Inspiration Cards, and I'm back with our third card for the Dahlia Days Stamp Jammies online card class. Apologies for the delay in getting this out to you. It's been a hectic couple of weeks, but I'm excited to share this week's card to you. So let's flip this around and get started. So here's this week's card. Of course, we've got our pale papaya again, and this time I'm pairing it with some crumb cake and of course a little splash of pear pizzazz. So what you're going to need for this week's card from your card supplies, it's going to look a little something like this. So you'll have a large crumb cake card base. That's just half an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. You'll also have a largish piece of pale papaya along with a little square. And then we have a large piece of basic white, 3 strips of basic white, and then another little square. Go. And of course, 3 more strips of crumb cake. All right, so to get started, as always, I like to just fold my card base in half. There we go. Okay, and so we can set that off to the side for now, along with a few other pieces that we'll pull in later when it's time to get sticking. All right, now to start with our stamping, I'm going to grab the large piece of basic white. And this is going to go on the inside of the card. I'm just going to add on the inside. You can add whatever you like. There's a lot of different images. I'm actually going to grab this little guy here. And because I want both colors, the crumb cake and pale papaya on the inside, I'm using my pale papaya ink, because we've got the crumb cake for our card base. So there we go, just a cute little something down in the corner. So still lots of room to add in a little note or something on the inside. Now from here, let's grab our 3 strips of basic white, and you're actually going to squish these 3 together. Just like that. And we're going to grab the large Dahlia image first. I always start with my largest images when I'm doing something like this, because it's always so much easier to fill in the gaps with the smaller images and not have to worry about things overlapping. All right, so I'm just going to stick that on my acrylic block. And again, just gently tap that on your ink pad. There we go. And again, I'm going to hold my pieces in place. If you can always use your Stamparatus, and you can use your magnet to hold all 3 in place if you like. There we go. And let's do one more down here in the bottom. And let's just hold that up top here somehow magically without getting my hand in the ink. There we go. All right, and to fill in some of those gaps, let's start with the leaf image. So let's stick that on there, just like that. Go, and so we're just going to add in a few leaves into those gaps, just like that, and one more over here. There we go. And we still have some room, so let's flip this closed. And we're going to grab that image with the 3 small little flowers, this guy right here. This is a great one to fill in those spaces there. So of course we're going to stick one right in the middle. And we can stick one right up there as well. Just like that. Here we go. All right, let's set these 3 aside to dry. very carefully. There we go. All right, and on your little square, we're gonna add our phrase. So you can add it in whichever one you like. I like the sending you lots of love. And that's just gonna go right there in the center. Just like that. And as I've been crafting, I realized I am short one piece of cardstock. You won't be. All right, so I'm just going to grab this piece here. Here we go. Found it. I think I've misplaced another. That's all right. So here we go. So I'm just going to flip that over, and that image of the 3 blooms, those 3 little flowers. Here we go with that pale papaya, and just kind of randomly just create a little bit of a background. Don't have to worry about it too much because most of this is going to get covered up. Here we go. All right. So let's pull in our other pieces. So I seem to be shy one piece, the piece that goes on the inside. So the one that I flipped on the inside actually goes on the outside. Yours, you will have plenty of cardstock. All right. So obviously with your piece, the largest piece of basic white, you're going to stick that onto the inside of your crumb cake card base. Since I had to do a little improvisation, I'm missing mine. Here we go. All right, so that large piece of pale papaya that you have is going to go on the outside, just like that. I'm going to set this off to the side because we're going to add our 3 pieces, our 3 strips to our 3 strips of crumb cake. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Stamp and Seal on the back of each of these. And I'm doing this in this order because I want to make sure that the pieces are all lined up so that even though they're not directly connected, they still, right, you can still see the connection between the 3 panels. There we go. All right, let's shuffle these here. And we're going to flip this over. Oops, I'm not going to flip this over. We're going to flip this over so we can stick it to, oh my goodness, my brain today. All right, so we can stick this onto our basic white card mat. So we're just going to overlay these right on top. So you can see they're sticking out just a little bit. So I'm going to add the one in the middle first. I find this the easiest when I'm doing this kind of card design, right? It really allows me to just make sure I've got the spacing nice and even. Here we go. And that's going to go right down here. All right, so we've got some blooms poking out. And again, one more time. All right, so we've got a few more blooms poking out. All right, and your crumb cake thread, which is in your kit, but I forgot to mention, apologies. Here we go. It's going to go just along the bottom, just like that. We're going to flip that over once we've got that lined up where we want it, and just add a little bit of Stamp and Seal on the back so we can hold that in place. There we go. And now that we've got this flipped over, we can add a little bit more. Here we go. Make sure we've got everything where we want it. All right, and that's going to go right on top of that Pale Papaya card mat. There we go. And then from here, we're going to add our little phrase to that little square of Pale Papaya cardstock. And that's going to get popped up with a couple of dimensionals here. There we go. And this is just kind of going to fill in the little gap that's here. There we go. And with that last piece of crumb cake thread, just tie a simple bow. You can use a little mini glue dot to hold it in place if you like. It shouldn't shift around on you too much though. There we go. There, and to finish it off, I'm just going to add in a few of the smallest rhinestone basic jewels, right? Whenever your card needs a little, oops, there we go, needs a little something extra, my go-to is these guys here. There we go. So one just next to the phrase, and I'm going to stick one up here in this little gap right there. And one more. I always like doing it in threes. There's a little space over there. So there we go. Now, as always, I do have a second card to show you. This one here is, again, featuring the Dahlia Days stamp set. This is actually from a Fancy Fold blog hop that I featured on my blog a couple of months ago, using some of the Friendly Hello Designer Series paper from this past celebration. So super cute little card, right? I love the designs from this stamp set. Here's one of the ones that I haven't used in this month's Stamp Jammies class just yet, but it's such a simple little card to make, and it really gives a nice wow factor. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this week's cards, and I'll be back this weekend with our last card featuring the Dahlia Days stamp set for this month's Stamp Jammies online card class. Now, in May, I'm featuring the A Good Man stamp set, and even though it's retired, I'm still excited to share some cards using this stamp set with you guys. Now, there is time to sign up for my last Stamp Jammies online card class featuring the Little Ladybug stamp set. This is such a cute stamp set, and I've been having so much fun crafting with it. You have until May the 12th to sign up for my June Stamp Jammies class. You'll get, for $75, the 4 projects supplies. You'll get the Little Ladybug stamp set along with 1 ink pad and some designer series paper as well. So if you have any questions or want to register for that, just send me an email at inkspirationwiththeresa@gmail.com. You can also check out all my other projects on social, on Facebook and Instagram at Inkspiration Cards. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon.